Am I to presume that I'm currently your chief suspect?
I'm not sure the suspect is a strong enough word.
Well, in that case, I should be locked up. Of course, I'm not. Therefore, I presume that you have no proof.
Not yet.
You'll let me know when you do, won't you?
You will be the first to know, Doctor.
Greetings, Columbo fans. Welcome to the next episode of the Columbo Confed podcast. This is Sean, and I am wearing a nice warm sweater and some heavy underwear. Steve, what are you wearing?
Wow, you totally one-upped me there. I'm Steve, normally dressed. Thank you. I'm not traveling to the Dakotas or wherever you're referencing.
Okay. It is one of the most beautiful... Oh, wait, never mind. Yeah, that's right. If you don't get those...
So, yeah, what are we talking about tonight, Sean?
We're going to talk about, as if you don't know, we're talking about A Deadly State of Mind, starring George Hamilton.
Yes.
Who's like 25 years old in this, but he's not.
Oh, really?
No, he looks like he's 25 years old.
So, when this episode was selected, you said it was the episode with Hamilton. I immediately thought of the one where he had that crime show, kind of like... not Unsolved Mysteries, but what was the other one?
Crime Alert. Why do I remember that? Yeah, Crime
But anyways,
Alert.
that's the one I thought of, and I completely forgot about this one. Did he star in any other episodes besides these two?
No, it was just these two. Both involve cigarettes. Both have a dog in the closing scenes. Yeah. So I found him dazzlingly. He is certainly, I think, the most handsome Columbo murderer of all.
Okay.
And I had to look up to see how old he was in this, because you could have told... I really thought he was like 30 years old, okay?
I was thinking, yeah, maybe early 30s, but go on.
Turns out he was 48 when he made this. He was born in 1939. That means he's...
Wait a minute, he was 48 when he made this episode?
Yes!
Oh
yes.
my god.
Oh, I'm sorry, he was 46. I take that
okay.
back.
Now that, yeah, I believe that totally now. Yeah.
He was so he was our age, and he looks a hell of a lot better than what... I don't know if I'm gonna buy a tanning
Our
bed.
age?
I'm buying a tanning bed.
I'm
wait.
32. I don't know.
Oh,
what
that's
you're
right.
talking about.
I'm 35. I'm 39. Yeah. Also starring Miss Scarlett, Leslie Ann Warren, and a bunch of other people, and somebody else that I'm going to So this episode. Do you remember seeing this episode the first time?
I know I watched it previously.
Okay, you actually watched it with me.
Did I? Okay.
Yes.
You decided, out of all the Columbos to show me, this was the one you wanted me to watch with you.
I don't know why. I'll talk about that more.
Because you got a thing for George Hamilton, I guess. I don't know why you didn't pick the Crime Alert one. That would have been far better, but...
Okay, well, spoilers. You did not like murder, or I'm sorry, what's it called? Caution, murder can be hazardous to your health. You thought that was boring. But it has a lot of clues in it, and I love clues.
You do love clues.
Yeah. So, tell us all about A Deadly State of Mind.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, Sean, for the handoff there. So this episode, as we discussed, stars George Hamilton as Dr. Mark Collier, and and the good doctor is a hypnotherapist, and apparently he's in the process of writing a book about, I don't know, but it involves his lover, Nadia Donner. And she's got a husband who, if you're not surprised by now, is the one that's going to get killed. His name is Carl Donner. Yeah. But anyway, so we start off the episode.
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler alert. So we start off with Dr. Collier. He's hypnotized Nadia. She's in some kind of drug-induced hypnotherapy session where she's talking about... I don't know. I think literally the first word or the first line from this episode is, He was my dog. Strange. Very strange. But we also find out that she's got some daddy issues. Like, I'm surprised she's not a stripper that is called, I don't know, Trinity, that, you know, comes on the stage.
No, it would be Scarlet.
But,
She would be
yeah,
Scarlet.
Scarlet, okay. But anyway, so she's got some really weird fetish-ish daddy issues where daddy apparently likes to watch her swim and dive, and she's jealous because there's another woman, I forgot her name.
Her sister. Her sister, I'm assuming.
Was it her sister? Oh, it makes
I'm
it
just
worse.
assuming that
Oh my God.
the dad wanted the dad like watched. Well, you know what?
You
It's
like
all
watching
coming
them
to
bait. You like watching them swim. Yeah.
It's all coming together now because her husband is, unless, you know,
Much older.
I think he's significantly older than she is. And
Yeah.
he does mention that she's had a string of lovers, Dr. Collier being the latest. And fun fact, kids, if you are a doctor, you are not supposed to be sleeping with your patients. And I also
that's
think
a given. Yeah.
yeah, I also think it's a bad idea to use drugs when going into hypnosis. I don't think you're supposed to do that.
Let me ask you this, Sean. Have you ever gone through a hypnosis theory or session or whatever? I can't think of what that's called.
I did. I had my
For
mom's
smoking,
cousin,
wasn't it?
No.
Oh,
My mom's
okay.
cousin was a hypnotist, and he did to my mom exactly what we see Leslie Ann Warren doing in the beginning, where like she's regressing to childhood, and he tried to hypnotize me one time because I wanted to save money to buy a VCR. True story. I was like 12, and it didn't really work. I mean, I didn't go under. I've never been like anything that does not involve like chemicals. You know, putting it. I just can't. I'm too much
Scotch,
of an anxious
vodka.
person. Yeah. How about you? Have you ever been under the a hypnotist?
I did, and this was over 10 years ago. I was listening to a podcast. I can't remember what the name of it was, but it kind of delved into the paranormal. And they were talking about past life regression. And they, in the process, like, you know, find a psychiatrist, they can put you under and whatever. So I'm like, that sounds really cool. I'm doing that because I thought that was fascinating. It is fascinating. So I found a psychiatrist, or hypnotherapist, I should say, that would take you back. It was one of the things he would do. He would help you quit smoking or find your past life.
I had no idea of this. This is wonderful.
Yeah, I know. I've never.
This.
Yeah, I've never.
I know
told
that there's
anybody
people
this.
that are like, get back to the episode, but no, I want to hear what this is.
You want to hear more? Okay.
Yeah, I'm dying to hear this.
So I went in. This is when we had cassette tapes. So I brought in a cassette tape and I recorded the session. I still have it on tape. And it was a complete and utter waste of my time and money. Cause
oh, shit.
like you, I don't think I can be put under because I remember the whole thing vividly. And when he was asking for details, I felt like I was just coming up with stuff randomly from my mind. Like just, you know, if I had watched an episode of Taxi, and all of a sudden I was Danny DeVito. You know what I mean? It just didn't. It was the things that were coming out were me trying too hard to come up with something, and it wasn't anything that came naturally. But I did record it. A complete waste of my time and effort. I never went back, and I just came to the conclusion I can't be hypnotized. So
Yeah. Maybe if I was drunk.
that maybe, or if you had under some kind of drug. I don't know. Maybe that helps kind of lower the inhibitions of whatever. But yeah,
'cause
okay. So
was it like you were too self-conscious? Like, oh my god, am I really?
I
under?
was
can't
very
tell what's
self-conscious.
going- Yeah.
yeah, I was very self-conscious of what was going on around me. Yeah, I was not in any altered state at all. So, anyways, so back to Columbo. Where are we?
We're
oh
right
yeah,
at the
so
beginning here.
we find out that Carl's going to be away. He's going to San Francisco. So, Nadia's going to have the beach house to herself, and she's inviting the good Dr. Collier to spend the weekend with her so
Yeah.
they can fool around.
Nothing good ever happens at a beach house in Columbo.
No, never.
No. By the way, nice beach house. You'd think it was like a cottage, but no, it's
I
like
feel like we've seen this house before, or at least the house next door to it.
Yes. I think it's Murder in Malibu, but I'm not sure. And Last Salute to the Commodore.
What's the one where? No, it is Last Salute because I remember it's the one where the young detective has to drive Columbo's car, and they go through the driveway as he's driving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're also introduced after that. We're introduced to Anita. She's Dr. Anita...
Dr. Borden. Dr. Borden.
Borden. And we're introduced to her, and she's telling Dr. Collier that they're missing some drugs. I'm not going to pretend I can pronounce these drugs.
Amylbalbertal and something else. I can't remember what.
Right. So they're missing drugs, and of course, Dr. Collier snaps back, well, you need to concentrate on your experiments with the rats and, get better results and whatever.
Yeah.
So it seems like they're kind of competing doctors, which is not the case we find out.
She's his subordinate, which we can get into a little bit later. So he shows up at Nadja Donner's beach house. Turns out she's not there alone. Turns out Carl's there.
Carl is there. Yep.
Yeah, they're there having drinks.
Yeah, so he pretty much he calls it out. He tells Dr. Collier that I know what my wife is capable of. You're not the first lover she's ever had, nor the second, nor the fifth. You're in the long line of guys that she sleeps with. And then of course he puts two and two together, realizes it has to do with this expose or this book that Mark is writing. Which we still don't know why it's such a volatile book. I wish we'd know what it's about, because I have no idea why it's worth killing somebody over.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you know what? Okay, there's two issues here. He's going to expose Dr. Collier for number one, sleeping with a patient, and number two, using drugs to put her under hypnosis, which is
it must have been something where it exposes Carl Donner in some way. I just don't know what that would be.
You mean Dr. Collier? You said expose.
No. I think because Dr. Collier is hypnotizing Nadia, but I think the book must have something to do with Carl Donner, her husband, because he's got information on him.
Yeah, maybe, right? Possibly.
So anyways, Carl loses his shit, and he starts slapping. Oh my God, I don't know why I'm laughing. It's not a funny topic, but I guess it's just the overacting. But he starts beating up on Nadia, and of course, Dr. Collier. Which, hey, I completely understand what's going on here. He picks up a poker and nails him in the back of the head or somewhere.
Yeah, and kills him, and
it kills him. Kills.
I had a different memory of this. I thought that the two guys were having it out, and then Dr. Collier grabbed the poker and killed him. I didn't remember that Carl was beating up on his wife so badly. Like, oh man, this is take him down. What an asshole. So you feel actually
and at this point, I'm totally on side with Dr. Collier. He is defending the woman he loves. Well, I don't think he actually loves her, but he's defending her. I mean, Carl Donner is being an ass. He shouldn't be doing that. And I started thinking, why didn't they just call the cops? And it goes back to this book must have something important that he cannot be placed at the scene of the crime.
Right.
Mark Collier. So there must be something about Carl.
Well, if they call the police, they're going to have to explain, why they killed him in self-defense, and it's going to come out that they're having an affair, and that could ruin Dr. Collier's reputation or his career. So
I was so liking Carl too, because there's a line where when Carl's saying something to Dr. Collier, it's like, you're not the first, you're not the second. And Nadia interrupts, says, "Must you please?" And he says, I must. I love
he says
that
it
delivery.
like-
I didn't do that justice of the delivery, but yeah.
I must.
He's getting pure enjoyment out of it.
Yeah. So
But yeah,
they
so-
decide, Dr. Collier decides that we're going to make this look like a robbery. We're going to, Nadia,
Right.
what I want you to do is...
She's losing her shit. I mean,
Oh,
she is
God.
crying. She's hysterical.
yeah, Leslie Ann
She's
Warren
got to
is
be.
just-
She must be. Yeah, she must. That character must constantly either be drunk or high. Like she must just to get through life. Don't you think?
Possibly, yes. It would have been a good idea to make her drunk. That would be another in a long line of drunk widows on Columbo. But she's completely a loose cannon, and I can understand later on why he kills her, because she's just like...
Spoilers. We haven't gotten there yet,
Oh,
buddy.
So he says, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to say the two men came in the house, and there's
Yeah.
a struggle. They knocked on the door, and they said they were having car trouble, and there was a struggle, and they tried robbing you guys, and then one of them hit Carl with a poker. They had guns, blah, 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 and then they took out, but I'm scared, Mark. Of course you're scared. Two men just killed your husband. It's perfect. So he takes off in his Mercedes. Is it a Mercedes?
Oh, no, whoa. We need to slow down
okay.
here.
I'm
There's
sorry,
one thing
I'm
he
sorry.
does do that's very important,
What's
and it's
that?
also a clue. He lights a cigarette.
Oh, yes, that's right, with matches, because his lighter doesn't work all of a sudden.
Right.
Yeah.
So he has a lighter. It doesn't work. I mean, like anybody, it's such a throwaway moment. You try to light a cigarette, lighter doesn't work, so you put it back, and I guess he has matches as backup. Well, that's actually really important that he does that as a clue we find later on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I screwed up, Sean. We may have to start over. Can we watch this episode again and then re-review it? Because what I should have been doing this whole time is counting how many times Dr. Collier lights a cigarette and use that as my final score. Damn it! Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, I was almost getting lung cancer from watching this. It was like, Jesus Christ.
He lit up every scene George Hamilton was in. He lit up.
Yeah.
Every time.
And at one point he
so
says...
often.
Oh, he tells Columbo, I got this lighter as a gift from my sister after I graduated medical school. I'm like, you graduated medical school and you're smoking like a chimney? Which I'm sure wasn't uncommon in the 70s.
That was different back then. When was
Yeah.
this? 70 what? When was this episode recorded?
April of 75. That's why I think he was 46 instead of 48.
I
because for some reason he
don't
didn't.
think smoking was considered. I think they were starting to put two and two together. I think that smoking probably wasn't good for you, but it wasn't. I don't know. Do you remember what it was like in the 70s? Because I wasn't born yet. Because I'm 29 and.
Oh, by the time we're done with this podcast, you should be 3. My mom and dad smoked a lot up until the 80s.
I don't think back then it was considered so bad for your health.
No,
It wasn't a good thing, but it's like drinking martinis all the time. It's not good for you, but it's not whatever. Mm-hmm. Trying to relate it to you.
Yeah. I don't drink martinis. It's a lot of work. I prefer my alcohol to just be in a bottle so that I just pour it in the glass. It's mixing shit, because after 2 you're like, fuck this mixing shit.
You just put your crazy straw in the bottle and you're done. Yeah. So I think this story would have worked. I think Mark Collier's story about the two thieves would have worked, but the underlying problem is it's all based around that Nadia keep her shit straight. The story straight.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, relying on her, it's going to fail. I mean, she's hysterical in this scene. Of course she's not going to keep it straight. And I don't blame her for being hysterical. Her husband has just been beaten to death. But anyway, so yeah, I think she's probably... Yeah, I think we pretty much assume pretty early on she's going to have to die because she's not going to be able to keep it straight, especially with Columbo and the police on her.
Oh yeah,
because they do hone in on her because she's the primary suspect, being, the wife of the deceased.
Right. So Columbo comes in, and we've got
Oh,
Sergeant...
no, stop.
Boy. Okay.
Another important clue. I thought you loved clues. So, Mark is decided he's got to leave the scene of the crime, and as he's leaving, he almost runs over Hans and Wiener Schnitzel, because aren't all blind men not ex-Nazis from World War II? No, this is going nowhere.
Don't know.
Okay, because he's got a German Shepherd. He's okay. So he almost runs over a blind man with his guide dog. It's a German Shepherd, and I don't know. I kind of think of the Nazi from not the Nazi sympathizer from what was that Peter Sellers movie with the bomb?
Dr. Strangelove, or
Yes.
How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. I don't think he was blind in that.
Okay,
He just had dark glasses on because he was a weirdo.
got it.
But yeah.
It's too bad there's not a podcast that discusses movies like that.
Yeah, I know, really. Anyway, continue with
I'm giving
your
you a
narrative.
chance to plug your other podcast, and you don't.
Okay, yes, I have a podcast. It's there's a fucking commercial for it every time. And
Really?
There's a bumper. Yeah, there's a commercial for it. It's the 1001 Movies podcast.
Okay,
All right.
you welcome.
Okay, yeah, sure. No problem.
So while we're on the topic of animals, so there's a lot of animal testing going on here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, bunnies, mice, rats.
Kittens.
There's no monkeys, though. There's no monkeys. Monkeys are apparently only good if you're a heart specialist. But if you were a psychiatrist, bunnies and rats are important. I don't know.
And kittens.
Are there kittens? There's no kittens here.
You don't see them, but you hear them.
You do? Really?
There's meowing. There's meowing. I was going to ask you how you felt about that because you're such a cat lover. I thought that you would.
So they used they obviously used an audio track that included animals that weren't there. That's interesting. It was
Right.
probably
Well, rabbits and rats probably really don't make much. So I think they pulled a sound effect from like a pound or something. I don't know.
That's interesting.
So you hear meow, meow. It's like, what are they doing? There's no cats, you see. Not unless the experiments involve putting a cat brain inside of a rat. That maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. That was probably labeled. That particular audio clip was probably labeled "Pet Shop."
Yeah, probably.
So he goes back and he's apparently bonking his assistant. Excuse me, his assistant, Dr. Donner. No, her name isn't Donner. Dr. Borden, and she gives him an alibi for when the murder is supposed to have occurred.
Right.
So then Columbo goes on the scene. Is it okay now to talk about when Columbo goes on the scene, or is that getting too ahead of things?
Well, and then I think we should just point out, if it wasn't made apparent, is that Mark Collier is banging Dr. Carol Borden.
Right.
Yeah. So
Anita Borden. Anita Borden.
Is it not Carol?
No, it's
It
Anita.
is Anita. You're right.
It is.
You're
It's
right.
Anita.
You're right. Nadia and Anita. Wow.
Yeah. So Columbo shows up on the scene, and I really like this scene because he asks her a few questions. She tells the whole story, and she is visibly upset. Her doctor's there for some reason. The doctor got there before most of the cops did, and you see him sit down. He's pretending like they're doing, and then and we see him look at clues, and he knows they're clues. We know they're clues, but you wonder what's he looking at? Why is that important? And one thing that I don't like about this scene is that he's lighting a cigar, looks down on the floor, and he must have bionic man eyesight.
Yes, I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, and it's buried in the car. It was basically a little tiny stone. Okay, he doesn't know what that is. What is that? Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's the size of a grain of salt almost. It's so tiny. I don't like that he's able to pick that up. What I did like about this scene is Columbo playing out the murder. He's sitting on the couch. He's picking up. He's pretending like he's listening to music. He's looking as if he's talking to how Nadia would have been talking to her husband, facing. And I like that kind of interaction. He's working out in his mind how things possibly could have gone down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we also get to see our favorite sergeant, Sergeant Kramer, aka Sergeant Kirby.
Yeah.
He's in it.
Who doesn't really say anything that says either he's annoying, but he does have this implied annoyance about him whenever like he's on the scene with Columbo. Like Columbo shows him the little piece that he found. You know what that is? I don't know. Let's go outside.
Yeah. So he's trying to get him outside. He thinks they have some evidence. I guess something. There's a. I don't know what. I forgot what Sergeant Kirby is looking or finds. Is there's a dent in the mailbox or something?
Oh, it's in one. It's in one of the posts in like the statue that Collier bumped into with the blind man.
Oh.
And Columbo looks at the tire tracks.
Right.
And realizes.
Yeah, and he determines it's a thinner tire.
It's a European car.
And I've got a European car. It's a European car. You got a European car? Yeah, it's French. It's a French. And then I just annoys Columbo that no one noticed his car in that scene.
Yeah, my car's a French car. It's French.
It's an import. I know these tires. These tire tracks. I mean, mine are balding, but just.
Oh yeah, he says that. Don't let that.
How does Columbo afford this car? It's obviously an expensive car to maintain, right?
I'm sure that he bought it used in like 1962 for $500 or whatever. So Collier shows up. Dr. Borden is behind the wheel. Collier shows up, smoking a cigarette, of course, that he's lit with a match, which I didn't remember was a clue, but it's there. Mm-hmm. And that's sort of like the end of the scene. We are shown clues without knowing that they're clues, with the exception of the skinny tire. What I find really interesting, though, is the next scene. Not the Colliers, the Donners, Mr. and Mrs. Donner, the late Mr. Have a luxurious, huge beach house, but live in a relatively small apartment. I don't understand.
I like
that
to think this is her apartment, and he just maintains it. Like it's probably somewhere near the city, so she can enjoy the nightlife. I don't know, but I totally think that this is her apartment.
I see. Okay.
Don't you think?
All right.
But yeah, so she's in her apartment in her little silk blouse and whatever. And,
yeah.
So you know, her and Mark were probably doing it before Columbo shows up.
And yeah, it's weird because the doorbell rings and Collier answers and Columbo doesn't say it, but I'm sure he's thinking, "What the hell are you doing here?" But interesting. He lights a cigar and asks Dr. Collier for a light, and Dr. Collier gives him a light with his lighter.
Right.
He has a lighter now. He's not using matches.
Yeah, so I don't know if this is the scene where Columbo starts to suspect Dr. Collier because he remembers getting matches the night before when he asked for a light. I don't know.
Okay, so he has to be suspecting him because later on he does go to Collier's office and Collier looks out the window and sees Columbo looking at his tires. So he must have some suspicion about Collier. I mean, the fact that he's there in her apartment in the morning is kind of suspicious. He tells Collier in the next scene that he doesn't believe Nadia's story, because
he starts asking for specific details to Nadia, and it's funny because he finds out some additional information about supposedly the two thieves. And Columbo, he kind of stops, and he's resetting, and I like this scene because it looks like he's resetting the rules in his mind. Like, oh, so if they did that, that means that... So he's replaying everything in his mind in that instant, incorporating that new detail. And I really enjoyed that. And I thought it was really funny, Dr. Collier, he's basically sitting to the... slightly behind to the left of Nadia. But when he sees how the questioning is going with Columbo, he gets up and moves across the room so that now he is facing Nadia and is slightly behind and to the left of Columbo, so that he can kind of help her answer any questions, which he does. That she might get stuck on with Columbo.
Yeah. Because she's a dingbat and doesn't really know what she's doing. No, truly. I mean, she's not all in her right mind right now. But yeah, she's at one point. Columbo asks, "Was he wearing were they wearing gloves?" And Collier's got the handkerchief.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was a really good play there. So back to what you were saying about when Columbo was looking at Collier's tires. So he goes inside, and I think it's funny because he goes inside the hospital, not the hospital, but the doctor's office or the research lab or whatever it is where they work. But we're seeing the lab maze and how the rats are running along with these lines, these blue line, the yellow line, and the red line, because it helps guide them, and I guess they're testing their memory. But when Columbo goes into this office, he's asking for Dr. Collier, and they're like, "Oh, well, just follow the blue line." So basically, Columbo's going through the same rat maze that those rats were doing.
Oh, well, wait, back up. It's my turn to say that now. Back up.
What?
Dr. Collier's there with his publisher, Michael somebody.
Yes.
And he's showing he lets Dr. Borden show Michael the it's not Michael, it's Charles Wellman. He show him the rat, and he looks at the rat and he says, "Oh, he looks just like one of my junior editors."
Okay.
And she goes, "Well, no, it's just dumb." And she goes, "Well, her name is Willie." And he goes, "Well, I don't have a Willie." I don't know.
Okay, that went over my head. I'm sorry.
That I don't know. It's just stupid small talk in a movie type thing, and that's when Collier looks out the window and sees Columbo looking at his tires in his car, and of course Columbo comes in, and there's I get you. Don't you get it? The lines on the floor, just like the rat. Don't you see? We're all just rats looking for a bit of cheese or a bit of egg. Wow, it's cosmic, Steve. Don't you see it? Don't you see it?
So surreal, yeah.
Okay, there's a moment here that is possibly one of the worst 3 seconds in all of 1970s Columbo. It's only 3 seconds. Okay, it's right down there with him playing with the controls, or the TV controls, in Make Me a Perfect Murder. He's walking, and he opens up a door, and
I know where this is going. Okay, yes.
He opens up a door, and a lady screams, and he goes, "Oh, ma'am, I'm sorry," and then he closes the door and keep walking. Now, there was no door there. He just peeked into an open doorway and then kept walking, and they added the sound effect of the lady screaming afterwards. Because if you notice, there's no door that he opens. It was a very stupid thing. Who's in there? And what are they doing? And why did she scream anyway? It's a really stupid thing.
I thought it was funny. I'm sorry.
Oh, gosh. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so Columbo finally meets up with Dr. Collier. And and I think he's baiting him at this point. He's like, "Hey, I just don't believe Nadia's story, and I'll tell you why." And he tells him that, how could she not have seen these headlights, and so he's starting to put doubt into Collier's mind, which makes me thinking it ahead, is Columbo responsible for Nadia's death? Because he's starting to he's trying to find a wedge in between Nadia and Collier.
Absolutely, yes.
And so, of course, Collier is going to do something drastically, because now he's realizing, okay, the hysterical woman can't keep her story straight. The police are already onto her. Yeah. And so he's got to do something about her, or he's going to be, found guilty of murder. And so he's got to do something about her. Mm-hmm. And so I almost wonder if Columbo kind of pushed him in that direction.
I think you're right. Yes, that's true. If it wasn't for Columbo's prodding. But you know what? You could say that in a number of other episodes where there's a second killing,
Yeah. But
I can't really think of one, but anyway,
But
yeah.
Dr. Collier suggests to Columbo, why don't you put on a lie detector? Columbo's like, well, that's not admissible in court. But Collier's like, well, it will take her out of running as being, your prime suspect. I'll suggest it to her. And I think he's already, in his mind, he's already planned what he's going to do next. Which
Okay, so I've got
really
a fun
kinda
fact
sad,
about lie
actually.
detectors. I've got a fun fact about lie detectors. Do you know?
Oh, let's hear it.
Okay, so I don't know if... Okay, so if you want to break a lie detector test, or if you... I don't know if you want to pass it, but if you... Okay. If you clench your butthole, you will pass a lie detector test.
I did not
Forgive...
know that.
I don't know if you will pass it or if it will screw it up, but clenching your butthole actually
now?
affects the outcome of the test. And I am not lying, that is not a joke, but it was on an episode of Penn and Teller's Bullshit on Showtime. Have you ever seen that show?
No, I never watched it, but I'm aware of it. Yeah.
Yeah, if you clench your butthole, that
I've
will-
also heard. I don't know if it's true because I've never been in a situation where I had to take a lie detector test. But I remember hearing somewhere that another way to cheat is to place like a thumbtack in the tip of your shoe, and every time there's a question that you don't like, you just kind of push your toe into the thumbtack, which will cause some pain, which will disqualify or throw off the reading. Now, I like the butthole thing because that doesn't sound as painful. And then another way I heard is also to bite your tongue very hard to cause pain. It's like you need to initiate pain in some way that your body reacts to the pain.
Bottom line, lie detectors are bullshit.
I'd much rather squeeze my butthole than cause physical damage to myself.
Yeah.
So I like your. So hey, if you're out there, you've learned something today from the Columbo Confab podcast, and you're welcome.
Clench those buttholes, people.
Tighten those sphincters.
I'm gonna get something on Twitter like 2 months from now after this, talking about buttholes, and I'll be like, "What? What are you talking about? What?" Yeah. So yeah,
Hey, if you have other ways to cheat a lie detector test, please email it to us at columboconfabpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll read it on the air.
That would just be columboconfab@gmail.com.
Whatever. Not that anybody. We don't get any email anyways. So.
Well, we've got
Do
one.
we? Do we?
We
do?
got one. Yeah, we got one this time. Okay, I can't remember where we are in this.
I'm tightening my butthole as we speak. In anticipation. Okay, so yeah, so Mark then goes to Nadia's apartment, and he's going to put her under, or not put her under. What's the term here for putting somebody?
You can put her under. Yeah, I think that works.
Okay.
He's gonna hypnotize her. Yeah, I guess.
Right. Yeah, and he tells her it's basically, I'm going to make sure that so you don't feel nervous when you lie, or you're going to believe the story I give you, which would have been why didn't you just do that at the beginning? It would have been so much easier. Hey, I'm going to put you under. You're not going to remember any of this. This is to protect you. Don't know why they didn't do that at the beginning. But anyways, that's not what he does.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Can we go back just a little bit? Because there are clues that come out. He tells the doctor that he doesn't believe Nadia's story because she says that these guys drove away from the crime scene down the driveway. But at night, if someone is driving through the driveway, their headlights shine right through the window into the living room. So how come she didn't see them when they pulled up? And why would they say that they had that their car had broken down? Well, obviously that was a lie. So I feel like there's another reason he doesn't believe her story, but I can't remember what it is.
Well, it comes up later at the cocktail party.
Yes, it does.
So
we'll get there in a moment.
if we-
We'll get there in a moment. So yeah. Well, what does he do with Nadia now?
So yeah, he hypnotizes her, and instead of making her not so nervous or making her forget the crime, he actually gives her kind of a Manchurian Candidate kind of action. So when she receives a phone call, she hears the name, what was it, Michael?
It's Charles Wellman, I think.
Charles Wellman. When she hears that name, she's going to feel hot. She's going to feel uncomfortably hot, and that she is going to want to go swimming, and because her dad enjoys watching her swim.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sean, you're going to feel hot. You're going to feel hot. You have to go swimming now.
You have to get into that cool, refreshing water.
Are you feeling hot right now?
Maybe from some alcohol. I really want my daddy to watch me swim, though. So I'm gonna get naked for my dad.
Barf. So anyway, so he gives her this
my
direction.
dog, sweet Walter. You know, it took me a minute. Walter, the name of the dog or the dad? I think it's the name of the dog, right?
He
was my dog.
Don't know.
It's important to me because
was the dog? Well, you know, there may have been a correlation between the dog and her dad, because she was obviously very controlling about who the dog loved, either her or Melanie or whoever, and her dad was very similar. So I wonder if the dog and the dad were, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, really, that's not. But he's gonna call her, and when he says Charles Wellman or whatever it was, she's going to take off all her clothes and jump off the balcony into.
It's Charles Whalen.
Whalen, that's right. That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
That's right. She's
I
gonna
just
take
hit that
off
in my notes. Yeah.
and jump naked off the balcony, the 5th floor balcony.
Well, no, I don't think he was expecting her to be naked. I don't think that was part of it, because we'll get there. Okay, so apparently that evening, Mark's got a cocktail party.
Oh, wait, that makes sense. That's right. He didn't tell her to take her clothes off. He just told her that she would jump off the balcony into the cool, refreshing water.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that makes it even creepy. Oh, we're going to get there, because now I just thought of something else that really bothers me about this father person. Okay, so let's do it now, because I'll forget. So in her mind, when she's hypnotized, she has to jump into the pool, and she wants to show her father her diving into the pool. Right? That's what Mark hypnotizes her. So in her subconscious, what she needs to do to fulfill this act is she has to get butt naked. So that means she's getting butt naked for her father, and then we all know her father enjoys watching her. Oh my God, this is getting worse.
Yeah.
This poor woman. Jesus.
Yeah, it's gross. It's gross. Well, you know, she's going to be put out of her misery in a minute.
This father guy, oh my God.
So it's 7 o'clock. The doctor gives her, puts her under. He's got to be home at 10 o'clock for a cocktail party he's having there. Now, before we talk about what they talk about, because I love the cocktail party scene. It's one of my favorite all-time scenes.
Yes.
The attendees at the cocktail party, did any of them look familiar?
No.
Okay. One of them,
Why? Who are they?
I think his name is Gary. He says, Columbo, you'd be doing us a great... We're just a bunch of boring doctors. If you just give it a few minutes of your time. The guy that says that. Mm-hmm. The skinny guy, kind of balding. He is the same guy who played the bookstore clerk in Forgotten Lady. He's the guy that played Luigi in the Super Mario Brothers Super Hour.
What?
Okay. Yeah. So I'm like, this guy is so fucking familiar. I can't figure out who this guy is.
I did not pick up on that.
So I looked it up, and it was his voice, and then it suddenly occurred to me,
It's a me, Luigi.
Well, no, that wasn't familiar. It was the voice,
Detective Columbo.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
We got the fight to the Bowser.
There we go. Our Nintendo fans are gone now. Are no longer listening to the podcast. But you can tell by the voice. He's got that same voice. Mrs. McTwee and blah, 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 blah. But I love the fact that, number one, Columbo is explaining to the party guests the murder, the problems with the murders, just as he would to the murderer usually. And
he's using it as a... Yeah.
Number 2, Collier basically murders Nadia over the phone while Columbo is there in the room with them. That is so cool and wicked.
I did like this as well.
Yeah, that scene is ingenious where he pulls out the flint and he says, I think she had an accomplice. Oh, how do you know that? And he's like, because of this. There was somebody that smoked in the room. And Collier is like, oh, wow, really, Lieutenant? Well, It's like, it's almost like he's letting Collier know that it's him. He thinks it's him, but there's this buffer of people, so he can't say what he really wants to. It's a really cool, well done scene.
I love it. Oh, absolutely. And out of all the people, out of Gary, Brenda, Melanie, Sue, I don't know all the other people in there, Luigi. The person that was sitting to Columbo's right, it was Brenda, and I know this because I had the captions on. Boy, Brenda was really chewing up the scene. She was so animated, so detective. Tell me more, and she would. I don't know. I thought she was a bit much.
Oh, you'd make
Brenda. Brenda,
detective.
stop. Brenda, settle down. So
you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of like back when we used to go to Doctor Who conventions, and you'd have breakfast with the stars, and they'd go from table to table, and all of a sudden Philip Hinchcliffe sits down and everybody's asking him questions. That's what it reminded me of.
Yes, anyway, I would love to have a meal with Peter Falk. That would have been awesome.
Yeah. An evening with Peter Falk. Yeah, we can't have. We could do Cher Denise, George Hamilton.
Oh, Cher Denise would have totally dominated the conversation. I know it. talking about her 20 dogs. That she has.
Yeah, we got to have these people when we have our Columbo con. Cher Denise, George Hamilton, Patrick.
I am not.
I'm sorry, William Shatner.
I'm pretty sure we'll never have a Columbo conference or whatever.
Steve.
But I will never, ever have Cher Denise on. I'm sorry. No.
Maybe we can find Rip Torn. He's around somewhere.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Hello, everybody. This is Sean. I just wanted to chime in, tell everybody that this episode was actually recorded about a month and a half or 2 months ago, and Rip Torn was not yet dead. So please don't tweet us. Please don't email us chastising comments about how we're insensitive assholes. I mean, we are, but Rip Torn just wasn't dead yet. All right, thanks.
Now, back to our show.
Yeah, he's gone bonkers.
All the Columbo murders but 2 from the 90s are still alive. Patrick McGowan, of course, is gone, and so is the guy that played Rudy Straza in No Time to Die. I'm sorry, where was I? I think the wine's kicking in.
When Nadia receives that phone call and she starts taking off her clothes, which I don't think was expected, because I don't think if Dr. Collier realized how sexual the whole thing was.
Yeah.
He wasn't expecting her to take off your clothes, because that's the point. Like, when you go swimming, what do? If you're going to commit suicide, are you going to take the time to take off your clothes, fold it, put your valuables in your sock, and then put it in your shoe, which everybody does. If you've ever gone swimming in a public pool, you've got no place to put your stuff. You put your valuables in your sock and stuff that in your shoe.
Wait a minute.
What we all do.
Do you do that? Because I've never done that.
I've done that, yeah.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
So it's what besides Sean, apparently, but the rest of the world does this. And
well, I haven't been swimming in I don't know how long, ever since I couldn't be seen in public with a shirt off. So
God. Okay, so
I'm from Chicago. We don't swim.
Chicago. Okay, so I don't know where that came from. So she strips down her clothes and she's talking about this is for Daddy or whatever. But is it weird that her tongue is sticking out, licking her lips?
Oh my God!
This father-daughter relationship is really wrong.
Okay,
There's so much wrong here.
I think that we have just hit upon the creepiest relationship since we talked about the ventriloquist guy and his childhood and the guy who he killed. I think we've hit upon something extremely interesting and creepy.
Are you talking about the Mrs. Columbo episode?
Yeah, the Mrs. Columbo episode, that the implied sexual assault.
Which that episode is on this disc as a bonus.
That's right. Because I went, oh god, there's that fucking clown thing.
And did I didn't tell you this last weekend I did watch Poltergeist for the first time in many years.
So good, isn't it? It's a damn fine movie.
It is a good movie.
Yeah.
Not as scary as I remember. Maybe because I'm
Really?
older and know what's going to happen now.
I think that different things scare me about it now. For me, when as a kid, it was the face scene, the guy tearing his face off. But
yes, it is so dated now. It's so dated now.
That scene did not. It scared the shit out of me as a kid. Where like if we were watching it, I'd go in the other room until it was over. I still think it does look kind of cool though. But I think, the parts that scare me now when I'm older are like the chairs in the kitchen. That kind of freaks me out. Yeah, I don't know why.
Okay, so the next scene, we see Columbo actually go to the.
Wait! I've got a question.
Oh. Uh-huh.
Okay, how many murders on Columbo occur in which the victim is naked?
Well, this one.
I can think of 3.
Okay.
This
the
one.
other one. Mm-hmm.
This one and Double Shock and another one that we haven't talked about yet. And
So Double Shock was the uncle with the toaster in the bathtub.
It was a electric mixer.
Was it? It was. It wasn't a toaster.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, what was the other one?
I'm not going to say because we haven't talked about it yet. I think maybe Columbo and the Murder of a Rock Star, but I don't think she was naked. I think she was about to get naked.
Because that's right. No, at first I thought it was the lover, but actually he was just given a drug to make him sleepy.
Yeah.
The drummer, or whatever.
Yeah, the friend of Little Richard's, or whatever. Oh, I hated that episode.
Was Little Richard naked?
I hated that episode. Do you remember us talking for about 10 minutes about the mermaid and how they did it and whether or not she was in the basement or just in another room?
Wait, we're going to talk about this again?
Okay, let's not talk about it again. Really, if you want to hear more about our discussion about the mermaid. Okay, I'm watching this right now with the sound turned off, obviously, and it's on the scene where she takes off her clothes, and she looks like she's getting oral sex from somebody. She's got the lips smacking and
her tongue's out.
Yeah, my God, it is. I never noticed that before. I mean, of course, it's me. Yeah, it is.
Daddy, watch me. Daddy, watch me.
But the thing is, when she jumps, she screams as if for one split second she comes out of it. And I don't know if she hits the pool, but I think she doesn't because later on in the next scene, it's implied that it's not too pretty. Yeah, not too pretty.
Do you think you could survive a jump from a 5-story building into a pool?
I don't know. I don't want to find out.
All right. You're feeling hot right now, Sean. You're feeling uncomfortable.
There is only one floor in my house, and we don't have a pool. Just saying. So trying to get me killed that way is
not going to work. Okay, so can we go now to where Columbo... I think Columbo now, after viewing the body at the apartment complex, and I think now he knows she's dead. Obviously someone killed her. So the only other person that can be responsible is Mark Collier. That he now is going to... Because before I think he was kind of... Her story doesn't make sense. Collier's involved somehow. He hasn't figured that part out. I mean, he suspects him, but he's got 2 people he suspects. Now one is dead. I think it focuses laser focusing on to Dr. Collier. He has to be the one that is now the main suspect because he had a relationship with both. He was there. Supposedly, his client was the wife. they found out there's some drugs that would have made her more susceptible to suggestion.
Telling the truth. Yeah.
So I think he pretty much at this point 100% knows he is the guilty party. He just needs that final thing to kind of cinch it, so he can sell it to the DA and get him convicted.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He just had to figure out how the hell Collier did it, because he knows he was at his house. He was there himself, but he knows that Collier did pick up the phone and call somebody.
Right.
But
and he sees that the phone at the apartment was left off the hook, so obviously she had a conversation with somebody that caused the end result of her suicide. So yeah, and I think he connects those two quickly.
There's a couple clues. He does the same thing again where he's at the crime scene and he's looking at stuff but not explaining what it means. And, he's looking pensive, and obviously the phone was off the hook. We know why. He doesn't know why. But, of course, he looks at her shoes. Her clothes are all folded all nice on the patio. Of course, he gets in the shoes. He pulls the scarf out. Kramer comes in like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, well, okay. And this is all explained.
I've got a shoe fetish.
Yeah, exactly. I need to put together, like, for the people on the Twitter or the Facebook or whatever, just put together like a collage, a picture collage of Columbo looking at shoes or feet or digging toenails out of the toilet.
Gross.
And of course, Kramer's there. He's acting like he's got better things to do, and that Columbo's an idiot.
Yeah,
even though
sleeping.
even though it's like Columbo has solved like every murder ever. So it's explained. Columbo doesn't go to bed. Instead, he spends the night in his car in the parking lot.
Oh, right, yeah, and he's waiting for Dr. Anita Borden.
Uh-huh. Wait. I want to ask you something. If you go to someone's house and they're having a cocktail party, and they ask you what you want to drink, what are the chances that they would actually have cream soda?
Well, do we take into account that's the 70s? Maybe that's like having club soda now. Like everybody has club soda or seltzer in their house, right?
We don't.
I do.
Is it just because it's a mixer for vodka and gin?
Right. So you don't keep that in the house?
No, we don't drink vodka. I drink scotch and wine, so I don't have the. Occasionally, I'll have a hankering for some of the.
I can't remember, but I see your point. I can't remember the last time I had a cream soda. I mean, it's probably been 20 years at least.
Oh yeah, I don't even know if they make it anymore.
They do.
I think A&W makes it, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to try it. You know what? Yes. I found a recipe for a drink called fish fingers and custard that one of the ingredients was cream soda. And yes, that's from Doctor Who. So, sorry. So Columbo spends the night in his car in the parking lot at Dr. Collier's office, apparently waiting for Dr. Borden to show up. He's got his paper bag.
Yeah, and he's asking her about the drugs. We found these drugs in her body. What do these drugs do? And of course, I'm sure Anita remembers the initial conversation she had with Dr. Collier at the very beginning about where are these drugs that have gone missing. And so she's got to know at this point that Collier's guilty as hell.
Mm-hmm. But what's his
okay,
Go ahead. No, keep
well,
on
no, I think he's trying to fish for more detail because again he knows Collier is the prime suspect. He's fishing for more information which he needs, and so he goes to her, I guess, thinking that he might be able to find something more. He shows her. He pulls out of his paper bag her Nadia's shoe with the stocking and her jewelry wrapped in it. And of course, like everybody else on this planet except you, wraps their valuables in their sock, puts it in the shoe, confirms that. But I like the scene where she says, "Well, you'll need to ask Dr. Collier about that." And I love Columbo's response. Do you remember it?
I'm asking you. I'm asking you about a murder. That's what he says. Yeah.
I thought it was great.
Yeah. That's in the little preview at the beginning. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he says, "I've never had a naked dead body before." Yeah. Not true. Not true, sir. You've had a naked dead. Well, no. In the bathtub. No, that guy wasn't naked. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking
This is
about.
Columbo. Oh, well, she's not real anyway, so.
Yeah. I'm not going to go along with the Mrs. Columbo thing with you again. We're not going to go down that
What?
tired route.
No, I'm sorry. Did I say something out loud? I was thinking. Sometimes I think and thinking to myself, but I'm actually talking out loud. I'm sorry. Keep
Okay,
going.
that's called Tourette's, I think. So don't. Yeah.
No, it's.
This isn't. This
It's
isn't
not,
the Tourette's.
It's not called Tourette's.
Isn't that Tourette's? Like, a motherfucker. Stevie, easy about the.
No, I don't. God.
I learned from.
So, anyways, are we at the wharf now, where
They should,
Columbo?
they should have a podcast for people with Tourette's, which is hosted by people with Tourette's.
I'd listen to it.
Motherfucker! This is awful. That's not really what Tourette's is like, people. I don't want. I mean, that is, but if there's anybody with Tourette's,
we lost
listening to
another
this-
percentage of our listening audience.
Really, seriously, I know. That's an extreme. I just remember as a kid, John Stossel interviewed a guy with Tourette's, and he had like really bad Tourette's, where he would, just go into a store and be like, "Fucking motherfucker, god damn it," like the lady on Deuce Bigelow. So that is not, Tourette's is not like that. It's
So, Columbo's on the wharf. Dr. Collier has been spending a day out on
on a
Charles
boat
Whalen,
with his publisher.
right? Charles Whalen, and Columbo starts asking him questions, and I like this scene because Collier is at the top of I don't even know how to explain it. He's at the top of this dock, and there's another level down that Columbo's on, and they're talking to each other, but Columbo's having to look up at him. Collier's looking down at him. And it's almost like
Columbo's shaving with the electric shaver at one
right,
point.
but Columbo's like it's almost like a play of images. Columbo's he's kind of at a lower level than Collier. Collier's kind of above. But as they walk towards the end of the pier, that's they're towards the steps. Columbo is now he's walking up, and he's now. Are you okay?
Yeah, continue.
Are you feeling hot yet? Anyway, so Columbo is now at the same level at Collier, and that's when he says, "Oh no," that's when Collier says, "So that makes you think I'm the main suspect?"
Oh yes,
and
yes,
Columbo says, because now they're at the same level, instead of being two different levels. Columbo says,
good.
"I know how you did it. I just can't prove it."
Yeah. Excuse me. Very good. Very nice. Observation there. That's true.
Mm. And so that's when Sergeant Kirby comes into the scene and tells Columbo, "We've got an eyewitness, not the best eyewitness." Chuck. I mean, that's just funny. I mean, that's just seriously.
He's blind.
Not the best eyewitness. Yeah. Well, yeah, he's blind.
More like an ear witness.
And
So-
yeah.
Cut to back. We're back at the summer house or the beach house.
Beach house, yeah.
The Donner Beach House, and Collier's really mad at Columbo. "I've had to cancel 2 appointments because of your stupid phone call." And Columbo says, "Well, somebody saw you, sir, leaving the scene of the crime at 7:00, and we've got him right here. Mr. Morris." This guy walks in, sits down, offers Columbo a match.
And it's so obvious this guy's blind because he's looking straight forward as he's going down the steps.
Right.
And he goes to sit on the couch. He kind of does this. What blind people must do is navigate a room. They have to count their steps.
Yeah.
And it looked like that's what this guy was doing. And so, it looks like they've got the blind guy just to pretend he can see to trick Collier.
Right.
But
Did
it's
this
actually a
guy look?
double- it's a-
Did this guy look familiar? By the way, this actor.
This actor? Huh.
He's
Now you
been
say
in-
that.
He's been in Columbo before. He played Swanee in Last Salute to the Commodore. He was the murderer at the end.
Yes!
And he
Oh,
also
wow.
he also played Dr. Murchison in Lovely But Lethal. He played the alcoholic doctor. And he was in the opening scene of Fade into Murder with William Shatner. It will be a treasure to pill you, Mr. Lestrade. Or I can't remember the yeah. So Fred Draper, he's one of those actors that would, I think, that would hang out with Peter Falk and John Cassavetes and that old gang.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, that's him.
You're right.
So he identifies Collier as the murderer, and Collier says, Lieutenant, nice try. This man's blind. And he's like, oh, sir, no, he's not. Here, read this. And, he can see just fine. You're just trying to trick me. And he's like, well, no, sir, he's not blind. Here's the real blind man. And in walks the guy who actually was there at the scene of the crime.
Yeah. And of course, how would Dr. Collier know he was blind if he wasn't there? And Columbo basically says the eyewitness is not Mr. Morris. The eyewitness is you. And
Right.
roll credits.
Okay.
Stunned look on George Hamilton's face. Roll credits.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, we're going to have a word from our sponsors, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to rate this thing.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, the extra crispy kernel.
Bronze and golden, new and tasty. Cut to close up of the crispy kernel. That's the name of the sandwich. Because it's extra crispy like me. Cut back to the sandwich, then cut to me. Cut close on the sandwich, cut close on me. That's too close. Thanks. Let me hear them product attributes. Get the new crispy kernel sandwich with all the fixings for just $5.
Okay.
And we're back. Okay. Now, I have a lot to say about this, but who goes first?
Well, we got.
What are we rating at? What are we rating out of? I'm sorry.
Okay, so there are a lot of numbers in this one tonight, but there was one that kind of stuck out to me. That was probably the best. Can you take a guess what it might be?
I don't know. There was nothing stuck out to me at all. Actually, I wasn't looking. I'll be honest. I wasn't looking.
You just gave up at this point. So I would like to know, Sean, 1 out of 5 lovers that Nadia's had prior to Dr. Collier, how would you rate this?
I go first?
Sure.
Okay. I really like this one a lot. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. This is everything I like in a Columbo. I said a long time ago that I don't like the ones where the murder is unplanned like this. However, everything seems to work for me here. You've got your douchey murderer. You've got the damsel and the weeping, withering flower who, has to be put down because she's going to give the game away. We've got lots of great clues. There's one thing though that I don't like about this at all. And it's not the fact that Columbo, with his supervision, can see the flint on in the carpet of the house. But whatever.
Yeah.
And that is the end. The end, the gotcha clue, proves absolutely nothing. If any Joe Blow, I mean, you said it yourself, him walking into that room looking like a blind man, if someone said, that guy's blind, how does that necessarily prove that he was at the scene of the crime? That doesn't make any sense at all.
No, because he knows he would be blind. How else would he know that the witness that is brought in is supposed to be blind? He'd be like, "Oh, that's the eyewitness. The eyewitness wasn't there, or whatever." No, he's saying
that guy. The way that guy, Fred Draper, the actor, holds himself, he looks like a frickin' blind man. He's staring straight ahead. He's wearing dark glasses. He's taking very purposeful steps from the stairs that he goes down to the couch. He's acting like a blind man. I mean, you yourself said he looks like he's blind off the bat. So what does that prove? Does that mean you're the murderer now? That doesn't prove anything, you know? I don't like the ending. The ending does not hold water for me. But I love everything else about this. I think this is maybe in the top, I don't know what, but it's good. I really, really enjoy this one. And it shocks me that it's one of the shorter episodes. It's only an hour and 10 or 15 minutes long. That they packed so much in this in the time that they were given. And I noticed that it was written by Peter S. Fisher, one of the creators of Columbo. So yeah, I enjoyed this immensely. We just did Murder by the Book. I think this is better than Murder by the Book. It's a better story. I would love to have seen more of George Hamilton in Columbo,
Yes.
but of course he came back in the 90s for another excellent episode involving cigarettes and dogs. But yeah, I just, this has got everything. The only thing maybe it doesn't have is Columbo doing his usual, like, you know, shtick. It's a little bit here and there, like, you know, he mentions his car, but there's no. Yeah, it's that's all I got. It's solid. It's a great, solid story. Great double murder, solid story.
Yeah. Now, I think Murder by the Book is a better episode, but that doesn't mean I think any less of this one. I really enjoyed it. I think George Hamilton is a great murderer. It's unfortunate when I see him in Columbo twice. I would love to have seen him more. I think he plays such a great douchebag, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea that he takes advantage of one of his patients through hypnosis. He's obviously playing with the women in his life to kind of help him get out of these situations with Nadia and Anita. I thought it was a little odd that if they just would have called the cops at the beginning, this whole thing would be over. But I really enjoyed the plot. I find it very enjoyable, just as much as you described, or just like you
And the
described.
cocktail party scene. That's great. That's a great bit of writing.
That was the cocktail scene was great, despite Brenda's performance. But no, really great episode. You know, season 4 is one of my favorites in Columbo. I love that particular season. Has a lot of great, good moments. So I'm reading it. I want to give it a high rating. It's not. I wouldn't say it's my top most favorite, but I think giving it a 4.5. So I agree with you. 4.5 out of 5 lovers of 5 Nadia lovers. I don't. Yeah. So really, a really good episode. I really did enjoy it. I have nothing else to say that you haven't. So yeah, I think it's great.
I think it's also let down a little bit by the performance of Leslie Ann Warren, who's a little bit over the top. I think she's gets a little carried away, maybe.
Oh.
No.
But I like the, one of the things I like is one of my favorite older Sinatra films is Manchurian Candidate, and it does kind of have that feel to it. So I enjoy that too. I like the idea of someone who's killed somebody. In this case, they killed themselves, but under a programming, something they wouldn't normally do. And you do feel sorry for Nadia, because she's kind of like she doesn't want her husband Carl to be dead. She doesn't obviously want to kill herself. She's just in a really bad situation. She's just really aligned herself with just a horrible person. Yeah, and like you said, when she jumps off the pool, I mean, she's got some sexual fantasy about her father. She's preparing the jump, but after she makes that jump off the patio, the balcony, she screams. So that makes you realize she did come to her. She did become aware before that final moment, and that's really sad. I mean, if you think about it, she was in another place. And then the last seconds of her life is that terrifying moment. That's just sad. She's That's horrible.
And she probably missed the pool too and landed on the cement right next to the pool because she wasn't directly over that pool. It was, anyway.
Yeah, poor thing.
Okay, I think it's time that we look at feedback.
Yay!
Okay, let me see. I'm going to. Okay, we're going to talk. We got one from. Oh, it's just not a lot of feedback. We got one from Steven. Spells
me?
his name different. Yeah, Steven C. He says, "Hey guys, correction to your narrative about. Oh, it's entitled By Dawn's Early Light. Hey guys, correction to your narrative on what was said in the mess hall by Rumford. He yells out, Johnson, not attention. Just an observation. Love that episode, Steve. Thank you, Steve. Okay, cool.
You're welcome. Sorry.
Julia. She says, Dear Sean and Steve, hello from the UK, specifically the island of Jersey and the Channel Islands. Found a few of your podcasts on YouTube. Yes, we are on YouTube. Thank you, Simon. They're not all there, though. Hope maybe they will be, as I have the ones there already on a playlist. Helpful to listen to playlists nonstop, hands-free, and then found the rest via Libsyn. I've always loved Columbo. Grew up watching the 70s one with my mum as a child. She says mum. And then watched the 80s and 90s ones as a young adult. And now my own children know all the episodes too. And wow. She has the Cigar Box DVD set. Definitely want to track down more of your
Was
shows.
was that released only in the UK or?
Yes, that was released everywhere but here.
Why?
I don't know. It's just bizarre.
Does Universal hate us?
I think they may. However, if you ever want to watch Columbo here, it's not streaming anymore. It's reasonably cheap on DVD, but it doesn't have any bells and whistles. It is on Cozy like every day now, I think, though. So, yeah. All right. So
Great
thank
feedback.
you for that, Julie. I'm probably going to respond to you directly and tell you just use your podcast app and get our episodes that way, as long as all the other fine podcasts that are out there for you to listen to, like the TARDIS Tavern or the 1001 Movies podcast.
What's that?
That's the other podcasts that I do, that you do too, sir. Okay,
Did.
fine. Yeah, did. All right, so, Steve, it's my favorite time. We've got 15 more to go.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you please spin the swinging wheel of the 70s?
Is there really a point to this anymore?
Yeah. We're going to find out what we're going to... Just spin it. Just spin it, Steve.
All right.
Is there really a point to this? Of course there's a point to it. Why wouldn't there be a point to it? There's 15 possible things we could watch next, and here we are. Okay, remember when I said there's 3 episodes that I know of where the victim is naked? Well, Here we go. We found the next one is going to be one of those. A Friend Indeed, starring Richard Kiley. He spared no expense. Stole that joke from the other podcast, but A Friend Indeed.
Okay.
And that's indeed, like not indeed the whole word, but a friend indeed. Okay. You have not watched this one, I think.
It doesn't ring a bell.
Okay.
Which is great. I love New Columbo.
Yeah.
New to me.
This is going to be interesting. Because I haven't seen this one in a very long time. So I have a projection of what you'll think about this one, but I'm not going to say what it is.
Okay. Very good. Until next time.
All right. Good night, everybody. Say good night, Steve.
Oh, Sean?
Yeah?
Charles Whalen.
Thank you for listening to the Columbo Confab podcast. To email us with a comment or question, write to columboconfab@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter @columboconfab, and look for us on Facebook. If you're enjoying the show, please leave us some happy reviews on iTunes.
I love clues.
And the Oscar goes to...
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 Hi, my name is Sean, and I am the co-host of the Best Picture podcast. Each season, my co-host Eric and I randomly select a year and talk about the Best Picture nominees of that year, with each episode dedicated to a different movie. Did the Best Picture really win? Were there any overlooked movies? Was anything nominated that probably shouldn't have been? Listen to us and find out. Look for us wherever you can get fine podcasts.